Have you ever stopped to think that spiritual awakening can bring a lot of pain? Yes, my friends, the journey towards enlightenment is not always a bed of roses. Often, it requires facing our shadows, confronting our deepest fears, and dealing with the consequences of our past choices. But is this pain really something negative? Isn't it precisely through this pain that we find true healing and transformation? And how can we learn to embrace this pain instead of running from it? In this video, let's explore together the dark side of spiritual awakening and discover how we can use pain as a tool for growth and evolution. So, get ready to dive deep into your own journey and discover that despite its challenges, the pain of spiritual awakening can be the key to a fuller and more meaningful life. Stay tuned, because what you discover here may forever change the way you see the world and yourself. Are we ready for this journey of self-discovery and transformation? Well, if you want access to better videos about your spiritual awakening, join our community by subscribing to this channel. And if you enjoy this enlightening exploration, consider showing your support by clicking the Super Thanks button below. By supporting this channel, you become part of a community that values truth, self-discovery, and spiritual enlightenment. Spiritual awakening, a deep and transformative process of self-knowledge. Spiritual awakening is a process that involves a profound journey of self-knowledge and inner transformation. As a person connects more deeply with themselves, they begin to question their beliefs, values, and thought patterns. This process can be challenging because we often encounter aspects of ourselves that were dormant or repressed. However, it is through this inner dive that we can reconnect with our truest and most authentic essence. During spiritual awakening, it is common to face emotional challenges and difficulties that were previously hidden in our subconscious. Past traumas may resurface to be healed, feelings of hurt and resentment may come to the surface, and it is necessary to face these emotions head-on so that we can move forward in our spiritual evolution. It is important to remember that emotional pain is part of the healing and growth process, and we need to allow ourselves to feel and process these emotions so that we can be free of them. Facing emotional challenges. During spiritual awakening, facing emotional challenges during spiritual awakening can be an intense and challenging experience. Confronting past traumas, dealing with feelings of fear and insecurity, and questioning our own beliefs and values can lead to a state of vulnerability and discomfort. However, it is important to remember that it is through this confrontation that we can free ourselves from patterns and behaviors that no longer serve us. Emotional pain during spiritual awakening can be a sign that we are getting closer to our true essence and freeing ourselves from limiting patterns and beliefs. As we allow ourselves to feel and process these emotions, we are making space for healing and transformation to occur within us. It is essential to seek emotional support during this process, whether through therapies, support groups, or spiritual practices that help us deal with the emotions that arise. Feeling connection and purpose in the spiritual journey. The journey of spiritual awakening can be lonely and challenging, but it can also lead to a deep sense of connection and purpose. As we reconnect with our spiritual essence, we begin to perceive that we are part of something greater than ourselves and that we are interconnected with all of creation. This sense of unity and belonging can bring us a profound sense of peace and inner fulfillment. Emotional pain during spiritual awakening can be a sign that we are freeing ourselves from limiting patterns and beliefs that prevent us from living fully. By allowing these emotions to arise and be processed, we are opening space for healing and transformation to occur within us. It is important to remember that confronting internal shadows during spiritual awakening is an essential part of the spiritual evolution process, and it is through this confrontation that we can find greater balance and inner peace. The importance of allowing yourself to feel and process emotional pain. Dolores Cannon warns us about the importance of preparing ourselves through powerful prayers to achieve protection and salvation for our lives. So download now my digital book, The Truth Behind Dolores Cannon's Prophecies. This material covers a variety of insights for all occasions in life. Don't waste time. Click on the link available in the first comment posted and download immediately. The units are limited, so it is essential to act now to ensure that access to the truth behind Dolores Cannon's prophecies must be done now, before the units run out. During spiritual awakening, it is essential to allow yourself to feel and process the emotional pain that arises. Often, we tend to repress or ignore our most difficult emotions out of fear of facing them or believing that we must be strong all the time. However, it is through the acceptance and embracing of our emotions that we can heal and transform ourselves. By allowing emotional pain to be felt and expressed, we are making space for healing to occur within us. It is important to remember that pain is part of the process of growth and spiritual evolution, and it is necessary to face it head-on so that we can move forward on our journey. Seeking emotional support during this process, whether through therapies, support groups, or spiritual practices, can be very helpful in dealing with the emotions that arise and strengthening us on this path of inner transformation. Finding balance and inner fulfillment. Through spiritual awakening. By facing internal shadows and dealing with emotional pain during spiritual awakening, we are making space for greater balance and inner fulfillment. As we free ourselves from limiting patterns and beliefs, we allow ourselves to live more authentically and truly aligned with our spiritual essence. This process of healing and transformation leads us to a state of greater peace and inner harmony. Allowing emotional pain to be felt and processed opens us up to a process of deep and transformative healing. Facing our fears, traumas, and most difficult emotions can be challenging, but it is through this confrontation that we can free ourselves and reconnect with our true nature. Spiritual awakening invites us to dive into the depths of our being, confront our shadows, and allow ourselves to be reborn into a more authentic and full version of ourselves. Unresolved issues and internal and external confrontations. During the process of spiritual awakening, it is common for unresolved issues from the past to resurface to be addressed. These issues can manifest in various forms, whether through internal conflicts or external confrontations with other people. It is a time of deep reflection and self-evaluation where we are confronted with our own fears, insecurities, and behavior patterns. These internal and external confrontations can be challenging and uncomfortable, but they are part of the process of growth and spiritual evolution. It is important to face these issues head-on and seek to understand the roots of such conflicts in order to transform them into opportunities for learning and personal development. Spiritual awakening invites us to look within ourselves and confront what needs to be healed and transformed. In this sense, it is essential to cultivate self-awareness and authenticity so that we can deal healthily with the confrontations that arise during spiritual awakening. This requires courage and willingness to face our shadows and vulnerabilities without fleeing or hiding from them. By recognizing and accepting our imperfections, we can free ourselves from self-destructive patterns and open space for a greater connection with our divine essence. By facing unresolved issues and internal and external confrontations during spiritual awakening, it is important to keep an open mind and receptive heart. Through this process, we can become more aware of our thought and behavior patterns, allowing us to make choices more aligned with our true essence. Confronting these unresolved issues challenges us to grow, expand our consciousness, and become more authentic versions of ourselves. Ultimately, spiritual awakening invites us to look beyond the masks and illusions we create for ourselves and reconnect with our true essence. By facing unresolved issues and internal and external confrontations, we can free ourselves from emotional and mental chains that prevent us from living fully. The process of spiritual awakening is a journey of self-discovery and transformation that invites us to embrace the entirety of who we are and become conscious co-creators of our reality. Emotional pain during spiritual awakening as part of the healing and spiritual evolution process. During spiritual awakening, it is common to experience moments of intense emotional pain as past traumas resurface to be healed. This pain can manifest in various forms, such as sadness, anger, fear, anxiety, and despair. However, it is important to understand that emotional pain is part of the healing and spiritual evolution process and should not be ignored or repressed. By allowing ourselves to feel and process the emotional pain that emerges during spiritual awakening, we can release repressed emotions and unresolved traumas rooted in our being. This process of emotional purification is essential for our spiritual growth as it allows us to release the weight of the past and open space for greater expansion of consciousness. Emotional pain during spiritual awakening can be a sign that we are getting closer to the source of our pain and that we are ready to face it head-on. It is an invitation to dive into the depths of our soul, to embrace and integrate all parts of ourselves, including those that were wounded and rejected. By embracing emotional pain with compassion and self-love, we can initiate the process of inner healing and transformation. It is important to remember that emotional pain is not a sign of weakness, but rather of courage and inner strength. By allowing ourselves to feel and express our emotions authentically, we permit ourselves to be vulnerable and genuine before ourselves and others. This process of self-acceptance and self-compassion leads us to a state of greater emotional and spiritual balance, in which we can free ourselves from suffering and live with more fullness and gratitude. As we navigate emotional pain during spiritual awakening, it is important to remember that healing does not happen linearly or instantly. It is a gradual and continuous process that requires time, patience, and dedication. By allowing ourselves to feel and process emotional pain with kindness and compassion, we open ourselves to a profound and lasting transformation that leads us to a state of greater peace, balance, and inner harmony. Seeking emotional support during spiritual awakening. Through therapies, support groups, or spiritual practices. During spiritual awakening, it is crucial to have emotional support to assist us in the process of inner healing and transformation. This support can come from various sources, such as therapists, spiritual counselors, support groups, friends, family, or spiritual practices like meditation, yoga, and Reiki. It is important to recognize that we are not alone on this journey and that we can seek help whenever we need it. Traditional therapies, such as psychotherapy, can be a valuable tool for exploring deep emotional issues, past traumas, and self-destructive behavior patterns. A qualified therapist can help us identify and transform limiting beliefs, develop self-knowledge and emotional self-management skills, and explore new perspectives on ourselves and our relationships. Besides traditional therapies, support groups can be a source of emotional support and empowerment during spiritual awakening. Participating in groups of people who share similar experiences can provide us with a sense of belonging, understanding, and acceptance, as well as help us feel less isolated and more connected. The exchange of experiences and mutual support within a group can be extremely enriching and transformative. Spiritual practices like meditation, yoga, Reiki, among others, can also be very helpful during spiritual awakening as they allow us to access higher states of consciousness, cultivate inner peace, and strengthen our connection with our divine essence. These practices help us calm the mind, balance emotions, and strengthen the energetic body, favoring the process of healing and spiritual evolution. Seeking emotional support during spiritual awakening is not a sign of weakness, but rather of wisdom and self-care. It is important to recognize our limitations and vulnerabilities and seek help whenever we need it. By allowing ourselves to receive emotional support from external sources, we open ourselves to new possibilities for growth, healing, and transformation that lead us to a state of greater balance, peace, and inner fulfillment. The solitary journey of spiritual awakening. During the journey of spiritual awakening, it is common for people to feel lonely and challenged. This is because the process of deep and transformative self-knowledge can make us feel distant from other people who are not going through the same experience. The feeling of loneliness can be intensified by the difficulty of finding people who understand and support this process of spiritual evolution. However, it is important to remember that loneliness during spiritual awakening can be an opportunity to connect more deeply with ourselves and the divine. It is in this moment of introspection and reflection that we can discover a profound sense of connection and purpose that goes beyond external relationships. Loneliness can be an invitation to turn inward and reconnect with our spiritual essence. By facing loneliness during spiritual awakening, it is crucial to remember that we are not truly alone. There is an invisible network of support and love that sustains us even in the most challenging moments. Furthermore, loneliness can be an opportunity to develop self-sufficiency and confidence in our ability to deal with the difficulties of the spiritual journey. Loneliness during spiritual awakening can be an invitation to become more intimate with ourselves and nurture a deeper and more authentic relationship with the divine. During the journey of spiritual awakening, it is important to remember that loneliness is not necessarily a permanent state. As we advance in the process of self-knowledge and spiritual evolution, it is possible to find people who share the same journey and who can offer us support and understanding. Additionally, loneliness can teach us to value true and authentic connections in our lives rather than seeking to fill an emotional void with superficial relationships. Loneliness during spiritual awakening can be an opportunity to cultivate more meaningful and enriching relationships. In summary, the solitary journey of spiritual awakening can be challenging, but also a path to reconnecting with our spiritual essence and finding a profound sense of purpose and connection. Loneliness can be an invitation to turn inward and reconnect with the divine, strengthening our self-sufficiency and confidence in our ability to deal with life's challenges. Loneliness during spiritual awakening can be an opportunity to develop more authentic and meaningful relationships, valuing true connections in our lives. Liberation from limiting patterns and beliefs. During spiritual awakening, it is common to encounter limiting patterns and beliefs that prevent us from living fully and in harmony with our spiritual essence. These patterns and beliefs are like chains that keep us trapped in a limited reality, preventing us from reaching our maximum potential for evolution and growth. Emotional pain during spiritual awakening can be a sign that we are freeing ourselves from these limiting patterns and beliefs. By confronting the discomfort and emotional resistance that arise during the healing and transformation process, we are taking a step toward liberating these chains that prevent us from living in fullness. Emotional pain is often an indication that we are challenging these patterns and beliefs that keep us trapped in a limited reality. It is important to allow ourselves to feel and process the emotional pain that arises during spiritual awakening rather than repressing or ignoring it. By embracing these difficult emotions and allowing them to manifest, we are making space for healing and for liberating the patterns and beliefs that limit us. Emotional pain during spiritual awakening is an integral part of the process of spiritual transformation and evolution and should not be avoided or denied. By allowing ourselves to feel and process the emotional pain during spiritual awakening, we are opening space for the liberation of limiting patterns and beliefs that prevent us from living fully. Through confronting internal shadows and emotional pain, we can free ourselves from the chains that keep us trapped in a limited reality and find greater balance, peace, and inner fulfillment. The liberation from limiting patterns and beliefs during spiritual awakening is an invitation to reconnect with our true spiritual essence and live in harmony with our life's purpose. In summary, the liberation from limiting patterns and beliefs during spiritual awakening can be challenging, but also liberating. By confronting emotional pain and internal shadows that arise during this process, we are taking a step toward healing and transforming our limiting patterns. The liberation from these patterns and beliefs allows us to live in greater balance, peace, and inner fulfillment, connected with our spiritual essence and our life's purpose. Allowing yourself to feel and process emotional pain. During spiritual awakening, it is common to encounter deep emotional pains that resurface to be healed and transformed. These pains can be related to past traumas, negative thought patterns, or limiting beliefs that prevent us from living fully. Allowing yourself to feel and process this emotional pain is a fundamental step for healing and spiritual evolution. Often, we tend to repress or ignore emotional pain because it can be intense and uncomfortable. However, by avoiding feeling these difficult emotions, we are only prolonging the healing process and keeping ourselves trapped in patterns of suffering. Allowing yourself to feel and process emotional pain during spiritual awakening is an act of courage and authenticity, enabling us to access deeper layers of our psyche and promote inner healing. By allowing emotional pain to manifest and be processed, we are making space for healing and transforming negative patterns and limiting beliefs that prevent us from living fully. Emotional pain during spiritual awakening is an integral part of the process of spiritual evolution and should not be avoided or denied. It is through confronting these difficult emotions that we can access the root of our traumas and pains and promote healing at a deeper level. It is important to remember that allowing yourself to feel and process emotional pain during spiritual awakening does not mean staying trapped in a state of suffering. On the contrary, by embracing these difficult emotions and allowing them to manifest, we are making space for healing to occur and for freeing ourselves from the patterns and beliefs that limit us. Emotional pain during spiritual awakening is a sign that we are opening up to transformation and spiritual evolution and should not be feared or avoided. Facing internal shadows. During spiritual awakening. During the process of spiritual awakening, it is common to encounter internal shadows, those parts of ourselves that we tend to deny, repress, or ignore. These shadows can include our fears, traumas, limiting beliefs, and negative behavior patterns that prevent us from living fully and in harmony with our spiritual essence. Facing these internal shadows is a fundamental step for healing and spiritual evolution. By facing internal shadows during spiritual awakening, we are taking a step toward integrating. And that's it, my friends. Spiritual awakening can bring a lot of pain and many challenges, but it also offers an immense opportunity for growth and transformation. It is important to remember that the spiritual path is not always easy, but the reward of connecting with yourself and the universe is immeasurable. If you found this exploration insightful and transformative, consider showing your support by clicking the Super Thanks button below. Your contribution helps us continue bringing you valuable content that delves into the depths of spirituality and reveals ancient wisdom. So I ask you, are you willing to face this journey of self-knowledge and evolution? Are you ready to dive into the depths of your soul and confront your deepest fears? Remember, spiritual awakening is an invitation to a new way of living, seeing the world, and relating to yourself and others. Now tell me in the comments, what was the most challenging moment of your spiritual awakening? How did you deal with the pain and difficulties along the way? Share your experience with us and let's continue together on this journey of growth and transformation. Don't forget to leave your like, subscribe to the channel, and activate the bell to receive all the updates. Until next time.